Guys know the drill. Just give me a couple minutes here. Let me share the link around. Make sure everything's working okay. Oh, goodness. What's up, Plaza? James? Aloha? It's good, Tommy? Yeah, likewise, brother. I'm having a pretty good weekend, for sure. Pretty good indeed. Oh, I gotta post on Twitter. What's up, Sarab? Machi Turtle? Raver, what's up, guys? How we looking? Good stream quality? Mic sounds okay. Let me double check here. Mic test. What's up, Sarab? The mic sounds fine. I'm gonna show you guys one of our, another one of our new intros that the homie Bruce cooked up. Here, check this out. This one. Yeah, buddy. We better cook up some meth. Straight out of Breaking Bad. What's up, Don? Oh, love it. What's up, Ace? What's up, Zach? Guys got quality? Dude, Bruce is built different. He just pumps these out like it's nothing. It's actually crazy. Super grateful for him. Yeah, I don't know if you're watching, Bessel, but I tried StreamYard again, and it kept giving me like a connection error or something. I couldn't even get me into the, what's it called? The page where you set up your stage and whatnot. But I tried like a dozen times, no luck. It was already about to be like 10 minutes at a 3, so just had to fire back up at OBS again. Alright, let's go to... We'll wrap up this cycle, then we'll head over to the charts. Let's throw up the new intro one more time. And then we'll go over to the charts. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh. Man, a year or two ago, I never would have imagined where we'd be, honestly. God bless Basil and the rest of the team, man. I mean, y'all helping me out so much, carrying me. Love to see it. I'm doing great, Don. Thank you, man. Yeah, we in the lab, brother. We cooking. Straight cooking. Are we ready to shill or are we waiting? So we don't shill, we share. It's like the... What's the word I'm looking for? It's the... What's the word? It's PC. Politically correct, yeah. We don't shill, guys. We share. Do I live in Europe? I do not live in Europe, brother. I live in the great United States of America. Perhaps the greatest country on earth. Once upon a time, at least. Yo, what's up, Luke? Yeah, Ace, that's done by, my buddy Bruce. If you guys don't know Bruce, go follow him on Twitter. Follow The Real. This guy's an absolute beast. Ugh, love him. Much love to him. Yeah, for sure, JB. All day, man. We'll be here for at least a couple hours, probably. New York? Nah. I'm further down south. Close to Florida. But I might get a place in New York in the next year or two. I'm not sure yet. My girlfriend really wants to go to New York. I'm not a big fan. I don't much like the hustle, bustle of all that. Yeah, Florida, brother. Love some Florida. MBD Financials. All right, yeah, we'll check it out. Amazon of Web3 is a interesting thing. I mean, will that ever really happen? We'll see. We'll see. Let me guess, though. It's got a token, right? To me, the Amazon of Web3 won't need a token. I think that's one of the bigger sins of cryptocurrency is that it feels like every big innovation needs a freaking token, and every big new innovation, the blank of Web3 definitely does not need a token. So, but we'll see. We'll definitely check it out. $2 million market cap sounds dirty. Polish off this energy drink here. And, I guess we'll go ahead and pretty much get started. So, game plan. Those of you that have been here a while, you already know. We're going to do a full top down on BTC. Maybe we'll peep Ethereum. Maybe we'll peep Stacks. Stacks are one of the best higher time frame. There's a couple that actually look really good. Render looks really solid. Injective looks really solid, but yeah, I mean, Injective looks really solid. Basically looks like Stacks and Render, but about 6 months ahead. Hold on, I got a sneeze coming up. Oh, goodness. Whew. Damn. All right. Amazing when ETH pairs comes. Look what he added. 500 mils light work. All right. We'll see. Zero King got Wiz tweeting now. Really? I didn't know they had Wiz in. That could be big. That guy's been freaking hiding it then. Let me see this. Wiz has like 600K followers, right? I don't see him tweeting about it. Did I miss it? Is it from yesterday, maybe? I see he's tweeting about RLC all day. Ugh. Am I looking at the wrong Wiz or something? Oh no, there I see he did repost. Interesting. I didn't even check out their recent update. Updated docs, nice. Embarking on a rebranding makeover. Interesting. I hope they're not going to change the name. I like 0KN. A new custom operating system is taking form. Okay, that's pretty sick. Damn. Yeah, 0KN is sitting at jokes valuations, and people are still selling it, dude. It's actually crazy selling this at $20 million market cap. I mean, it's actually like kind of batshit. Maybe they're just selling because they think Bitcoin's gonna dump soon, which I can definitely see, but I don't know. God bless you, Basil, my friend. What's up, Rodrigo? Thanks for tuning in, homie. I think Injective can reach 500, 1,000 in a full-blown bull. I mean, what is it now, like 40? 500, you're talking about 20x from the new high. I've got to be real, I don't know much about Injective, actually. I mean, you're talking like 40 bill? Where does that put it? That puts it up there with Solana right now. And I think Solana is probably going to like at least 500 this cycle, maybe 1,000. So you're talking Solana at like 200 billion? Can Injective get to 40? Maybe. Like I said, I don't even know what this is. Isn't this like another layer? Ah, the blockchain built for finance. Yes, of course, yes. It's fast and cheap, so it's Ryblox. It's literally Ryblox. I mean, the real question is, can it reach 40 billion? Why not? I mean, it almost feels pointless limiting anything to reaching anything. XRP hit 100 billion, Doge hit 100 billion, Cardano hit 100 billion. I mean, Polkadot is total garbage, and what did this hit, like 20? 50 billion? I mean, yeah, I mean, there was literally nothing built on Polkadot. Nothing of value whatsoever. Complete and utter vaporware. And it hit 50 last cycle, which means if DOT did the same thing this cycle, it probably would have hit like 100. So yeah, you can probably bang out a 10x on Injective from here. If you're patient. You know, I don't know if it'll go in one go. Had a $1 bottom, so 500x from bottom. You're basically looking for like AAVE performance. You know, AAVE did that. AAVE did a 500x against BTC last cycle from August 2019 to May 2021. And in that same time period, Bitcoin went up 600%. So it did a 500%. Sorry, AAVE did a 500x against something that went up 600%. So yeah, you could probably bang that out, brother. But you need patience and probably a lot of luck, to be honest. What's up, Augustine? Thanks for tuning in, homie. What's up, Walter? Happy Sunday, guys. Hope they don't change the logo. Me either. I think that new logo that they kind of updated is really nice. Dog picking up steam. Shh, shh, shh. Keep it quiet, man. Keep it quiet. Hunter, please tell me your thesis for ATOR is still high conviction in your believer. I'm still a believer. I don't know if I would say it's super high conviction. They're going to have to prove that they can do what they say they can do now. Like previously, it was kind of it kind of felt no-brainer, but I don't know. After the whole Tor situation, it's kind of a little bit questionable. But I think they said they're gonna have a test net of sorts out in the next month or two. So once that goes live and we can visually see that what they're working on is actually like a reality, and you know, once you take out kind of this general level, then you know, yeah, I can be high conviction again. And I'm still holding like a $250,000 in this. Like I still got a lot on the line. But I did sell right here and like in here a couple big chunks. And I sold, you know, some really small pieces along this. You know, eventually these will be bad sales, I'm pretty sure. Eventually we'll be, you know, making new highs at some point this year, I believe. But for now, I feel like selling this level is not that bad of an idea. You know, on the third, fourth tap, maybe not so much. You know, this is a pretty clear Adam and Eve bottom, I think, with a little wedge going on there or whatever. But it's definitely not my like highest conviction anymore. It used to be kind of my number one. Now I'd put it at like maybe 5 or 6. So still high conviction, but not as high as before. Heard of Web AI? No, I've not heard of that. Makes websites with AI. Oh, that's pretty cool. See, that's another example of what I was talking about earlier, though. Like making websites with AI in a couple minutes. That is sick technology. Doesn't need a token. Just doesn't need a token. People go, oh, but I got revenue share or something like that. I don't get. It doesn't need a token. Like, but that's a really cool idea. I just don't think it needs a token. Heard of Solarium? Serum. There's a new ticker for Serum. Bullish because it has the same ticker. Market cap 0. Nice. Excessively high buy sell tax. 2-cent bottom sitting at 8 cents. What are we looking at here? Let's check Dex, Annie. See what this buy sell tax is all about. But we'll check it out. I'm an MBD2. Okay. Damn, I didn't know so many people were hype about that one. We'll definitely check it out. Trump is all you need to make it. Now we're talking. Market cap prediction. I mean, for me, low end prediction is like 500 million to $1 billion. I mean, I guess really low end is like 250. If it just doesn't catch, if all they get is like a little hype wave and that's it. And then medium wave is like 500 million to $1 billion, and then top end would be like 10 billion plus. I mean, if it actually gets real use and adoption, especially if it gets it outside of Web3, then, I mean, that could be really, really good. You know, 10 billion right now would be almost top 10. And I would imagine by the end of this cycle, 10 billion would probably be like top 50-ish. What was it? What was it last time? Let me check. When was the peak again? It was like November 21. All right, let's check here. So, last cycle peak. Well, let's check also April. I can't remember if April or November had the higher market caps overall. Wait, is that right? 2021? Oh, this is volume. I was like, market cap can't be right. So last cycle there were 21. Okay, at peak in November, there were 21 projects that were 10 billion market cap or higher. So I would wager this time, maybe double that, at least 50% more. So I would say 30 to 40 will be 10 billion or more. And, you know, maybe I'm lowballing, highballing it. Who really knows, I guess, but I would wager 30 to 40. And, you know, I could see a project adding privacy to any blockchain, any project. I could definitely see that being a top 50. So, you know, maybe, yeah, 10 billion is, I guess, kind of peak. And I think my lowest bid on 0K is like 400K or 500K market cap or something. So if we get 10 billion, holy shit, it's going to be my craziest return ever. Still writing some vMINT? Nice, dude. I haven't sold a piece of this. I'm only up like... I'm not even up that much on this one. Like 30-40% or something. I think this is going to go a lot higher. A lot higher. 8 million is kind of a joke. I think in general, decentralized market making could be huge. And I think something a lot of people are missing about vMINT. Like, typically, if a team wants their token to be market maked, they have to give the market maker supply. So, you know, but in this case, if you want vMINT to market make, you don't have to give them a bunch of your supply. The team of the project will stay in control of their own liquidity, which I think is huge value. You don't have to really place any faith in the market maker. I think a lot of people are missing out on that. My only complaint with this really is the liquidity is kind of bad. You know, you're locked 5 months, that's aight, but this should be, in my opinion, at least like 500K. Again, it's not the worst. It's not the worst liquidity, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right. Let me catch up on the last few comments here down to Fabrizio's comment, and then I'm gonna start the top down. Already been about 30 minutes here. I'm slacking. Fee is my best trade ever. Still hot. Hey, let's go, Coos. Let's go. Best trade ever and still only 80 million. About to make new highs on stream. That's hype, dude. It's definitely one of my best trades ever. Up there with the Wootrade play. Actually, I think at peak, I forget at peak Wootrade was only a 50x. I mean, it felt so, it's wild how this felt so like exuberant during the peak of the bull run. Like Bitcoin was at like 60, 70K. a 50x on Wootrade, but we just be banging that out in like the bear market or whatever you want to call it right now, accumulation stage. Maybe you want to call it bull market. I don't know. For me, you know, a bull market is really new all-time highs on Bitcoin. Like you could say, you could say that, bull market really started. You had the bounce out of the bear market here, and then you had a new little downtrend here. And like I back then would have said the bull market started here, after the Bitcoin halving, the new uptrend. And that's, that's honestly true. This is kind of the bull market. But, in reality, like this was the bull market at new highs. So, you could maybe call this right now the bull market. But in my opinion, we're in like a, you kind of have bear, accumulation, bull. I think we're kind of near the end of accumulation. Maybe we get another dip or something, or maybe we just go sideways. I don't really know, but regardless, last cycle was like, damn, 50x on Wootrade at peak bull. Whoa, and now it's like 50x in accumulation stage. Yeah, we're going higher. We're going higher. So yeah, I'm hyped for you, dude. That's awesome. I'm sure you've already taken some profits, which is wise. I've also taken off. I've taken off more, funny enough, more than I want to on FIDEM, but less than my original game plan said I would, Like, my original target was, well, for FIDEM, at least, for Blockbank, again, it was 10x prices, but it was a penny to 2 cents. I would take off like 80% of my size, because that was whatever for me, a 30x or a, I can't even remember. I think this would have been like original. So yeah, it was like a 25 to like a 50x, and I was like, okay, that's where I'll take off most of my size, like into 100 million. But as it progressed, I started to see how legitimate FIDEM was and is. That, like, I don't know. I don't feel like this cycle is like previous ones in that, like, after you get X returns, like, it's time to just, dip. Like, oh, you get a, 50x, dude, get out. Like, that shit's gonna come tumbling down. Like, maybe. Or, like, a big thing was, like, in previous cycles, if any bag I had took up too much of my portfolio, like, if I put, 3% of my account into something and it went up 100x, naturally that's going to be a drastic amount of my portfolio now. I would just, like, cut it, right? Because it's so much of my portfolio, I don't want to be, 80% in blank coin. And I still don't. When I was, like, 80, 90% in OXO, that shit was, like, I hated that. I actually hated that. But that was also worse because I had so much of the supply. People got so mad when I was exiting and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But regardless, I don't agree with that anymore this cycle, that, like, if it's this much of your portfolio, you should just keep taking off. Versus, I think targeting valuations is much better, as well as targeting, like, stages of the cycle. Like, assuming we're kind of in, like, this stage where, whether either we're going to go sideways, like, we kind of did leading into the halving in 2016, or whether we're going to go more down like we did in 2019. Either way, I believe, the next stage is like this. That goes into 2026. Let's draw it. I think top, personally, is like middle, early 2025. So I think next stage of this cycle, is going to be like this of some sort. That is kind of when you want to be taking your heaviest profits, regardless of where your coin is at now. If you ran 100x now, brother, that's great. Where's it probably going to be by here? And let's keep in mind, not everything will top the same date. Some things will run up, nuke, and then make a lower high when Bitcoin really tops. For example, a lot of coins topped here, last cycle, like Dinosaur DeFi, Chainlink, AAVE, Compound, stuff like that. And then here, when it technically made a newer high, most of them did, you know, this kind of number. So I'm not saying you have to hold until X specific point, but I don't think this is a cycle where because you're up X amount or because you're up X% of your portfolio, you should cut based off that. I mean, more important than anything is, you know, follow your game plan, your goals, and whatnot. But I don't think we should limit ourselves mentally by any means. Anyways, a couple more comments here, and then we're going to start top down. Also have bags. Trump going to billions. You'll have to give me the down low on that, on why that would happen, brother. I'm not sure I'm on board. Have a bag of Cree, Welsh, and Dua thoughts. I like all of those. I have significant bags on all of them. Once they launch their mainnet, plan on lowering tax to 0. Talking about SRM. We can check it out. At 7.5 mil. Market cap very undervalued. Gamify. Which one you talking about there? Is that SRM? Any deep in plays you fuck with? Yeah, absolutely. You know, ATOR is kind of one of the main ones, but 0KN is my favorite deep in project by far, bar none. And then I got another one that I'm cooking up behind the scenes. I won't be able to reveal for a bit, but I got a crazy vested OTC deal on a new project that I think is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. It's not public yet. I can't reveal anything. I'm not like NDA'd or anything. I just, you know, I promised that I wouldn't reveal anything yet, but 0KN is my favorite for sure. And then ATOR. And then again, there's another project coming too. Look at PERC chart. Okay. FNAM to 10 billion? Dude, I genuinely think so. I've talked about it before, but this is kind of the third cycle for this type of project. First cycle, we had Pay 10x, for those of you that remember that. And that went to 750 million. And then the last cycle, we had like Celsius and Nexo. And those went 2 to 3 billion. So we had, you know, this essentially tripled or quadrupled to the next cycle. So if we do the same thing this cycle, we have FNAM. If we triple or quadruple, you're talking, yeah, 6 to 8 billion. I mean, and I'll be happy if we get this, but, you know, 6 to 8 would be sick. Sickening, given we're in Blockcircle from like $1 million. That would be like a 6,000x for us. I'm gonna be sick. Miss FNAM buy. Hey, yo, you're not FNAM done? That's rough, buddy. Doing something wrong with my life? Absolutely not, dude. I mean, it's impossible to catch all of them. This is what I've said this cycle, guys. This is gonna be my catchphrase of this cycle, and the reason you don't have hindsight and you don't look back. If you missed Pepe going 10,000x last year, you ain't got nothing to worry about. What could possibly be worse than that? Nothing. So don't look back. Don't stress over it. It's pointless. It's legitimately pointless to have hindsight. You know, learn from it how best you can, but, you know, people will do that, look back on hindsight and be like, damn, yo, I knew this was going to be hype, I didn't buy, and it's up 50x. I'm going to go super hard on this next one, and it's going to do the same. And then the next one rugs. And so you change your mind, you say, well, never mind, I knew I shouldn't have gone hard, I'm going to go super light on the next play, and the next play goes up 50x, and you're just in this cycle of, just, you know, just don't do it, man, it's alright. There are so many coins that I missed that went up crazy. And the worst are the ones you buy. You wait like 3, 6, 8 months, and then you sell it for something else. And then it goes up 50 or 100x or something. Those are the worst. But you just move on. You just don't think about it. I mute the tickers on Twitter, so I can't see them anymore. Like last cycle, I had like 20 million Doge or something before it ripped, and I sold it for pennies. You know, it would have been like 10 million plus profits by the peak. So I had to mute the ticker on Twitter. I had to mute Doge. You know, Elon Musk is talking about shit. I can't see that. I'm not strong enough, as Mr. Incredibles would say. All right. I see there's a lot more comments now, but I said at Fabrizio's comment I'm gonna start the top down. We've already been going 50 minutes, so let's breeze through this. Okay, I know a lot of you guys want to look at shit coins and stuff, but let's go ahead and let's do the top down. Again, we can't ignore Bitcoin ever. So let's check this out, and then maybe we'll peep Ethereum real quick, maybe not, and then we'll go to shitcoins. I'll have to use the bathroom here in a minute too, because that energy drink is crushing my bladder. All right, anyways, if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to post them in the chat. I'll try to make it quick, but ooh, we don't have momentum on the liquid index. That stinks. I guess we'll have to use Bitstamp. That's fine. All right, so top down. I mean, can we look at the quarterly? I guess so. The quarterly is stupid bullish. Rising momentum, rising cycle, trending above the 8 EMA. What more needs to be said? The yearly candle was also super bullish. You know, there's not really much info to go off on here, right? But it very much reminds me of this candle and this candle here. You know, you have the big bearish candle on the yearly, right? And then you have the follow-up candle. I'm just going to get rid of this fractal. No, we won't. Right, you have the big bull market candle, which is the giant ones. Then you have the bear one. Then you have the accumulation one. And then the rip. The bear, accumulation, rip. Bear, accumulation, rip. So I think we're finna look really good in 2024. Monthly looks a little bit questionable. Again, just before I delete it, I had this kind of fractal planned out back here. And I still think this kind of fits an idea of where we're going. Maybe something more like this. You know, and then we pick back up in March. This is kind of what I think is going to happen. A more bullish alternative is definitely, you know, like this. Like we go up a little, we go down, we come back up, we go back down, and then by the halving, we rip up. But I think we'll go a little bit lower. You know, something like mid 30Ks. Catch these moving averages as they come up on the daily. Anyways, that's my kind of fractal plan there, but we're going to get rid of it. On the monthly, things look a little bit sketch. You know, we just ran this liquidity up here. We had the ETF event. Monthly cycle's getting kind of high. Momentum is rising and above 0, so that's a good sign. But in general, I would say neutral to bullish. We got a pretty decent gap down to the 8 EMA that we could retest, which is down around mid 30Ks, much like our moving averages on the daily, our weekly support. And in general, this kind of retest, I think, is kind of a magnet, you know, somewhere in between here. I think that'll be a magnet for price. And this is also inverse dollar, which could fail right here with rate cuts coming and all that stuff at the 8 EMA. Or maybe we go a little bit higher on the dollar and then we fail later in the year. I do think inevitably the dollar is setting up a big picture move kind of like this. Very similar to, you know, previous cycles for crypto. While this happens, I think crypto should do very well. And then eventually the dollar probably makes a higher low. And we will get the next big kind of public sector wave, if you will. And this is going to be a bad time for crypto. I do believe we're going to have something of the sorts after this cycle of like what gold went through after its ETF run. Right, this is the gold ETF going live 2004, and it went on a crazy uptrend. I don't think this will be a decade-long uptrend for Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin moves a lot faster, so, you know, there's a chance Bitcoin does more than 350% this run, but it'll probably happen a lot faster, and then it'll probably do something like this afterwards, you know, very long period of sideways. That's my best guess, so. Anyways, monthly still looks very bullish, just, you know, I do think there's plenty of room to come back to mid or low 30Ks. I think that's plenty reasonable. I'm definitely there for it. You know, I would really like to load up on stacks on a dip like that. And, you know, nibble on a few of my low caps too, but, you know, buying stacks is kind of my big bet there. So we'll see if I can get that or not. I'm not really sure. Weekly also, but one more thing I want to point out, guys. These kind of candles for Bitcoin tend to be massive baits. Like, these nasty candles, again, they don't look that nasty when you're on logarithmic, but like these, you know, these, they tend to be massive baits. You know, it looks like, oh my gosh, this trend is about to get crushed, yo. And then it doesn't. They tend to be massive baits. They want you to think, you know, it's kind of all over. And then same for this on the weekly. These are baits from Bitcoin 9 out of 10 times. Like, I think there's actually a half decent chance we just hold the 8 EMA on the weekly here, chop around for a while, and just go up into the halving. I'm definitely hopeful of kind of a deeper dip so I can get some better deals, but you know, I can totally see this candle being a big bait for bears. You know, people going super short at the range lows and then just getting blown out. If I had to, you know, pick gun to my head, I would say down here before up here, but I think there's also just as good a chance we just chop in this range. That looks like a big bait to me. I will say, though, you know, monthly cycle being kind of high, weekly cycle's got some room to come down. It would definitely make more sense to kind of fall into February, March, and then bounce up into the halving. You know, fall into March, bounce into halving, post-halving pullback, and then push to all-time highs. You know, sometime by the end of the year. That is my current game plan, essentially. All right, I'm going to read some of these comments. I'm not going to address all of them. I want to finish top down, and then I got to use the bathroom, and then we'll catch up on those. Where would you add for FDAM in case of Mr. Alex? Doesn't make sense. It's done 100,000. I mean, it's only done... It hasn't even gone 100x off the lows. And again, how many... It's very important, and I suffer from this massively. Like, if I could have this idea of something going from like $1 million market cap to 100 million. But if I miss the first 5x, from 1 million to 5 million, even though I'm like, oh, this could totally hit 100 million, it's just so much harder for me to buy. Like, I'm so bad at buying strength. Even though the road from 1x to 100x starts with a 5x and a 10x, it's so much harder for me to buy here than it is here. So I get it, Don. And I'm not saying, you know, hop on FDAM, like, you know, I don't want you buying the top or anything, but in my opinion, this can still 10 to 100x from here. And it feels very safe. In my opinion, at least. It feels very safe. And there's comfort and safety for me. Especially for one of my bigger bags. You know, something I'm risking 1% on. You know, I'll buy Triangle meme coin on Solana. Right? Oh, it goes to 0. Whatever, you know. But something I'm risking more, you know, like this is almost 20-something% of my account now. Or maybe it's less. Maybe it's like 10 or 15. I don't want it to be on something that's not legitimate. Right? You know, at least for, you know, if they're in the top 5, ideally. So I think there's comfort in that. But, you know, if you're looking for... Hold on. If you're looking for where to get more of this, I mean, it's kind of a tough say. Like, it's just going up. You know, like, clearly, the place to get more is really any place. You know? And I know, like, everyone kind of wants the best dip ever before they buy. And you might get it, right? If Bitcoin comes back to mid-low 30s, you'll get a good dip. And it's just kind of up to you. You know, do you want to wait for a potential good dip and maybe miss, you know, because this could also be that dip. Right? You might get a dip on Bitcoin and still end up having to buy higher if it runs before Bitcoin tumbles. If Bitcoin tumbles at all. So, you know, unfortunately, I ain't really got much to say about that. I was also wrong. I can't read these comments and not reply to them. So we're just gonna have to wrap up final thoughts on Bitcoin, and I gotta use the bathroom, and then we'll get started on some of these comments, looking at shitcoins and whatnot. I know you guys got a lot you want to look at. But yeah, so right now, main situation on Bitcoin is we're still just ranging. You know, we're sitting at the bottom of this range. I still lean towards a breakdown versus a hold. Again, gun to my head, I would say down here before up here. But at the moment, it's still holding. You know, nothing to be super bearish about or anything. I will say, though, we have broken pi on the 4-hour for the first time this entire run-up. You know, we pushed through. We failed at it here and here. If you don't know, pi is a 314 period moving average. It's red on my charts. We failed at it here, failed at it here, broke back above it, retested it perfectly twice right here. And then we retested it here and failed. Funny enough, though, on futures, we've actually still held pi and the bands on the daily. Versus on, like, spot markets, we've kind of failed at the bands on the daily and failed at pi. So which one has more power? I don't really know. I don't know, but that is an important thing to notice. You know, last time we kind of did this, the last 2 times actually, was here and here, and we got a better dip afterwards. So I do think there's a pretty decent chance that the same thing can happen here going into February. But we'll see. Anyways, let me go use the bathroom. If you guys have any questions about Bitcoin, you know, feel free to address. But we'll move into, like, shitcoin stuff in just a minute, so bear with me. Your boy's gotta take a piss. right, now I can get through some of these questions again. Hottest real-world asset play, MBD, DEXTF, RWA, and M0. Hottest gaming infrastructure, Wombat. I definitely agree on Wombat. I will agree on DEXTF. I think Nexera is also good there. And yeah, we'll have to look at MBD. I see a lot of people talking about that. RWN I've not heard of. I've seen a couple people talking about that too. PERC I would agree with. Token for MBD is needed. I'm not saying token for MBD is not needed, but I think, you know, if someone wants to build Amazon for Web3, that does not need a token. You know, a decentralized shopping platform should not need a token to use it. You know, you just connect your wallet, and you don't even really need Wallet Connect. You know, if they give you an address to send your payment to, you don't even need Wallet Connect technically. And that's that. You know, I don't see why it should need a token, but, you know, we'll see how that applies to MBD. I'm not in Rio, no. Heard good things, though. Heard good things. We'll have a lot of utilities which will utilize its tokens. Yeah, I'm not saying it won't. I'm just, you know, at a base level, I don't think a shopping platform needs a token, personally. Top 3 high conviction plays as of today, Hunter. Sorry, I came in late. Okay, so top 3 high conviction plays easily. Fideum, 0KN, and Creso. Top 3, all day. Or maybe Dog. Dog would also be up there. So probably easier to say top 5. Fideum, 0KN. Why does this keep refreshing every time I go to it? Creso, Dog, and Welsh Corgi. Top 5. All day. Loaded big bags and 0K and Nexera. Yeah, Nexera would be right outside my top 5. For sure. I mean, this chart looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then, you know, DEXTF's up there. M0's up there. Yeah. What are your thoughts on when to sell Bitcoin versus alts? Seeing people say how alts really run after Bitcoin tops out. I'm not personally one of those guys that wants to be in Bitcoin while Bitcoin's going up and only in alts only when like alts are going up. I don't think we're in a time like that anymore where Bitcoin runs and alts don't run this run up. Like, I just don't think that's the case anymore. I think the market is much more mature and projects are a bit more individual. Yeah, Bitcoin dumps, most things are going to dump. But I genuinely think the market's a bit different right now. I don't think you have to be in Bitcoin only when Bitcoin's going up and then alts only when Bitcoin's going sideways. I'd rather just be in my alts even while Bitcoin's going up. Thus, when it does go sideways, I can still already be in them. I don't have to try and find a new entry. But, you know, there's probably room to be in alts after this test. So I think here is a good time to be in alts. Or, you know, if we go lower than here. And then BTC will push to an all-time high, I believe, by the end of this year. Maybe a little sell-off there. Another good time to be in alts. It pushes through. Another good time to be in alts. But in general, I'd rather just be in alts here instead of like trying to time these little accumulation phases. I'd rather just be in the stuff I like right now. Genuinely think Pepe gives us another 30x? Probably. Probably, yeah. I could see Pepe going up to like 10 billion. So, maybe a 20x. I mean, SHIB hit 40 billion, so it just kind of depends. Do you think the top meme coin this cycle will be Pepe, or do you think it'll be a dog coin again? And I'm not super sure. I still think it'll probably be a dog coin, but Pepe could be, you know, at least a 10x from here, I believe. Buying and selling Pepe for pennies in the first week would be worse. Dude, yeah, imagine, like, missing out on a big run sucks, but you can always be like, oh, I didn't know about it, or oh, I didn't, I never got in. The worst is buying something, selling for a 2x or a loss, and then it runs 100 to 1000x. And that's I was halfway there on Pepe. I knew about Pepe here. I didn't actually buy, but I knew about it and was watching it. And then I was like, I'm not buying. It's already too pumped. I'm not buying. It's already too pumped. What the hell? that definitely sucks. Want to look at Ka? I don't really want to look at Ka, dude. I pretty much sold the bottom on this. On, like, all my size. It's $5? Fuck! Oh, gosh. Talk about up only. Nah, I pretty much puked, like, all of my position in here. For other stuff. Thankfully, most stuff I bought with this has gone on a good run anyways, but... Nah, and I knew this was coming eventually. I just kind of... I don't have room for everything, Most of the stuff I sold in the past couple months is probably going to go up, but I don't got room for everything, so... Anyways, I mean, what is there to say about it? It's a great project. Market cap is super low. They got a really well-designed game. And now they've picked up a bunch of KOLs, so... I've always thought this was at least a double-digit coin. So it looks great. If you're in this, I would just hold, dude. If you're willing to sit through stuff like this, and this, I would just hold. Maybe take initials. If you're in when I first mentioned it back at like 50 cents, maybe book initials in the 10x, but I would just hold, dude. It looks great. At this point, would you consider FNAM a good buy? Or would you capital would be better spent on smaller, promising market caps? I would say both, actually. I prefer to have majority of my portfolio be in these high conviction projects that I think can go to like $1 billion plus. And then I have, 20 or, 30 other positions. Why are these refreshing nonstop? It's like my internet's bugged. Anyways, 20 or 30 other positions that I think are really good, that are lower market cap. Maybe they give more X's, but they're also higher risk, For FNAM, I'm kind of like, it's gone up so much, but at the same time, we're in this stage of the market cycle. We're not in this stage of the market cycle. So if during this, FNAM can go 50x, what's it going to do during this? So I'd rather still be super heavy in that. So yeah, I think it's still a really great buy. I think it can go 100x from here, potentially. If Musk integrates Doge payments, the hindsight play was mine Doge since the start. Dude, Doge is going to go crazy again, for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it. But I'd rather play Dog. I think Dog has way better risk reward than Doge. And Dog is actually connected to the real Doge NFT. So you're entitled, as a Dog owner, you're entitled to a portion of the Doge NFT. The real NFT sold for millions of dollars. I'd rather be in that than Doge. But Doge looks good. Eventually Doge will break out of this downtrend, which it might have already have, and then it's going to freaking rip. This is all that normies will care about buying, guys. You have to realize, the only thing normies are going to want to buy is Dogecoin. It's going to $1 this time. Like, that's all they're going to want to buy. Talking about PERC. Yeah, we can definitely check out PERC. I think that's a really good one. I know my buddy Cap was pretty big on it. Why are you so bullish, Stacks? Well, I think, in general, DeFi on Bitcoin is going to be one of the biggest revolutions in crypto. I mean, you have so many Bitcoin guys that want to be in DeFi, but they just refuse to trade. Like, oh, Ethereum's garbage, yo, Bitcoin maximalist. Like, those guys will trade DeFi Bitcoin, in my opinion. And a lot of people that missed Ethereum DeFi, Solana DeFi, AVAX DeFi, whatever, they will hop on Bitcoin DeFi because it's early. It's the first iteration this cycle. you know, for Ethereum, we had early DeFi back here, you know, with Ether Delta and IDEX and stuff like that. And then we had the first really heavy cycle for DeFi on Ethereum with Uniswap, with Compound, AAVE, all that other stuff. This will be the third cycle for Ethereum DeFi, but it'll be the first cycle for Bitcoin DeFi. And we're probably going to have the most volume ever seen in crypto this cycle and the highest valuations. Thus, I think there is massive room for Bitcoin DeFi, Bitcoin NFTs with ordinals and inscriptions and all that stuff. I think it is just huge. And Stacks is going to be one of the leading L2s for Bitcoin. And, you know, you've also got Space Chain, you've got, you know, Ordi, and you've got a couple others that are doing it, you know, like SAVM. But I think Stacks is the best. Maybe they get surpassed. Maybe they'll be number 2 or 3. But regardless, I think there will be huge potential for Stacks. And this is SEC approved. That's another thing people don't realize. This is SEC approved L2 for Bitcoin. The big boys are going to love that. In my opinion, as far like there's better L2s or L1s for Bitcoin. This has the highest chance, in my opinion, of getting an ETF. I mean, check this out. ARK, you guys know ARK, right? ETF provider. Check this out. There's already an ETP for Stacks. $16, which is not, this is not a comparison to spot market price. And it's only, you know, $1 million assets. So it's not like, you know, this is not crazy or anything, but this is essentially precursor to an ETF. This is huge. This is huge. So, I mean, in my opinion, you know, maybe there'll be a Solana ETF, maybe there'll be an Ethereum ETF, but this will be the first ETF for a layer 2 on Bitcoin. That can, and again, SEC has approved this. Like, you know, that does not happen. So that's why I'm so confident in Stacks. To me, this is going at least $10, maybe $25, $50, $100 this cycle. Your 2x being someone's 5 to 10x makes it so hard to buy. For sure. For sure. I get that. But, you know, will that stop you from buying? Like, you think BlackRock is thinking that on Bitcoin? Man, I don't want to buy Bitcoin here. This is somebody's 10,000x. Like, you think they think that way? No. Is that going to stop you from buying the stock market because this is someone's 100x from 2000? Like, no. It's not a good mindset to be in. You know, it's good to see, you know, who's up a lot and what the whales have and what they're doing, but that's a middle curve mindset that I have fallen victim to plenty of times. Saw Kobe cooking something. Any tips around? I have no idea what Kobe is cooking. Like, I've chit-chatted with Kobe a few times, but we're not, like, friends, really, or anything. And he's definitely not getting me in his deal flows, which I could, you know, care less about. But if I knew anything about what Kobe was cooking, there is a 0% chance I would tell a soul. So, sorry. I don't, and if I did, I probably wouldn't share because, you know, you gotta keep that stuff on the DL. If you're in those kind of inner circles, like sometimes people DM me because they track my wallets and they're like, yo, man, I see you sent, you know, 20 ETH here. What kind of pre-sale you're working with? If my boys that are working these pre-sales say, hey, we're not sharing this yet, I'm not sharing this yet to anyone. You know, like, it's just that's how you stay in the tight-knit groups, is you don't share that anywhere. And the people that do, they ruin those groups and they ruin the opportunities for other people in them. So, but anyways, I don't actually know what Kobe's cooking up. Supposedly a better way to do deal flow But we'll see. LCX. I don't know what that is. We need to make a little comment here. There's so many coins people want me to look at in so little time. Which is why I highly recommend, guys, if you're not in Blockcircle, to join Blockcircle, because we do private streams. You know, public streams we only do every 2 weeks. But private stream, there's 2 of them a week, and we have more time in there because there's less people asking me to look at stuff. So, like, you know, people want me to look at MBD, want me to look at PERC, right? Aimbot, Rio, like RWN. I'm not gonna have enough time to look at everything. So, you know, I'll try to look at as many as I can, but I just won't have that time. So, but if you're in Blockcircle, I got all the time in the world. If you have Telegram, yeah, I'm CryptoX Hunter. CryptoX Hunter on Telegram. Are you an aimbot? No, I'm not an aimbot. I'm not really in much of the bot coins. I think they'll run good. I'm just not my cup of tea, really. Don't forget to research PERC. Yeah, we'll definitely look at PERC. We'll definitely look at MBD. Thoughts on Toad? That's another one I don't really want to look at. I had a freaking huge bag of Toad early on. Like 200K or something market cap. Oh damn, this took a hit. Assuming this is what you're talking about. Damn. But yeah, I had a monstrous bag of Toad back here, and I think this is probably me puking it. This big candle here. I think that's when I puked it. And then like 3 months later, it just rips to like 20 or 30x my entry. But the chart does not look good, and it looks like a Christmas tree. You know, it doesn't look so good. It's gonna have to do this for a while, probably. Let's go ahead and pull up that first one, since everyone's talking about it. Please tell me it's not on Pancake Swap. Or is it MBD? Yeah, it is. Is this it? On Pancake Swap? I really hope not. Chart looks really good. Damn. Whoever puked 200K here is going to hate themselves probably this cycle. Thoughts on AKT? Is that, yeah, Akash? I mean, looks great, dude. One of the best looking charts in crypto for sure. Yeah, I mean, one of the best looking charts in crypto for sure. Anything above a buck, $1.50 is looking good for this coin. All right, as long as you can maintain, ideally, for something like this, you want it to maintain its current uptrend in front of like $2, but anything, you know, big picture, this is kind of your big picture trend. Right? So anything above $1 is actually pretty safe. Sold recently, PAL, ATOR, leftover OXO, hurts. I mean, why does it hurt? Weren't those all profitable trades? PAL, ATOR, and OXO? That's a good thing, dude. Big ups on the profits. Are you in KUJI? No. We were looking at it on stream when it was like $1 or something, but I didn't have room for it. This is not right. There's no way it's 500K market cap. I think it's like 100 million or something, or 300 million. 3 million? I could have sworn this was much higher market cap. Yeah, we were looking at this on stream back here, and I wanted to buy it. At the same time, I wanted to buy like Hera. I just didn't have room. Chart looks really good though. Chart looks really strong as long as you can stay above like 250-ish. You know, you're kind of just range trading on this right now. But this looks really good, dude. I think KUJI's quality. Privacy, give me your thoughts on privacy network. Do you have similar thoughts on XMR? I had some XMR for a while, but I sold it for some stuff. I had to do some quarterly taxes. But I do think that XMR is going to go hard. Privacy is just going to be hit or miss. Privacy is always hit or miss because privacy has never been more important. But it's also the crypto assets that are going to be under the most regulatory scrutiny. So it's either going to be a big win or a big flop. You know, once you escape this downtrend, I think it's going to go pretty hard. But I'd rather focus on newer privacy projects than XMR. I do think XMR is probably the best private coin right now, like no doubt. If you're trying to be anonymous, this is the coin you use. But I don't think I'll be buying any this cycle, personally. Got too much exposure on alts. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with selling stuff to mute the volatility of your portfolio if Bitcoin's gonna nuke. And maybe Bitcoin doesn't nuke and you're wrong, right? But even if you're wrong and Bitcoin doesn't nuke, dry powder is always going to be valuable in a bull market, right? Because there's always going to be another play. Always going to be worth something averaging down on. I think DUA is very good. I think people are sleeping on this one. I'm only holding like 70% of my size. But, I mean, this looks very healthy. You know, as long as you stay above like 8 cents, this looks very, very healthy. I'm a big fan of this project, and I think it's very undervalued at its current market cap. Most people have no idea what Brilliants are doing. Oh my gosh, I just can't catch up on these comments. Ugh, public streams are so tough, dude. I don't know how the guys that have like 500 viewers do it. I'm gonna have to be more brief on these coins. Creso, I think, is very good. I think this is a $500 million coin minimum. I think this is gonna gun for Trust Wallet. What is that? TWT? Yeah. I think Creso is gonna gun for this $500 million market cap. Like, no doubt in my mind. This is gonna be one of the best wallets to use in the future. Feeling very good about it. Cocoon also super slept on, dude. If you guys have been following me for like 2023, we've been in this since like 0.003-ish was the first time, or 0.002 I talked about it on stream. So 10x ago. But this is essentially what this coin looks like. Like this. So it's really just been sideways its entire existence at like 500K to $4 million market cap. And I think when this blows up, it's never coming back. You know, Barney's behind this one. They've got some really sick stuff they're working on. Looks absolutely insane, honestly. You know, maybe it's not going to be the winner. Maybe some other platform. I know people like Bazed, and obviously Rollbit's killing it. But as far as low cap, GambleFi, CasinoFi, Kakon is one of my favorites. So, yeah. Looks really, really good. What's a good entry on Stacks? Well, Stacks is just leveraged Bitcoin, so it's really going to depend completely on where Bitcoin goes. If Bitcoin's going to get a bigger dip, you know, whether it's like this or, you know, this or whatever, if Bitcoin's going to come down to mid 30Ks, you're going to be looking in front of $1 for Stacks. You know, in front of $1 down to 80 cents. This is the money zone for Stacks. If we get a bigger dip on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin holds 40K and just goes sideways, then this is the dip to be in stacks. You know, a safe bet is just if you don't mind missing the bottom, which you should always not mind missing the bottom, just wait for this 4-hour downtrend on stacks to reverse. You know, right now it's lower lows and lower highs. Once you crack like $1.60 to $1.70, you'll have a new uptrend, and then you'll have your risk reward, right? That's the safe strat. Otherwise, you know, you're just kind of waiting on a bottom to be in, right? But where I want to get it is 80 cents to like $1.10. That's where I want to load up. What's the difference between ETF and ETP? I'm definitely not the person to ask about that. Maybe Basil, you can clarify the difference between ETFs and ETPs. As far as I know, you know, and it's in the name, an ETF is like a fund, you know, versus an ETP is like kind of more like a stock, right? There's definitely key differences there, but I'm just not really the person to answer that. I'm not super in tune with that stuff, but that's the difference. The big differentiation, as far as I know, is an ETF is more like getting involved in a fund versus an ETP is more like buying a share of Bitcoin, if you will. Or not a share of Bitcoin, a share of an asset. So I'm sure Basil could clarify better than I could. Peep Trump chart. Okay, yeah, we can look at the we can peep the Trump chart. Look at all the different Trump coins, dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I love Trump. Like, you know, I'm not naturally, I don't agree with everything he says. You know, I don't think he's that well spoken or anything. But compared to the competition, I love Trump, dude. I think he's so entertaining, and I think he's a way better president than what we have now. Is he the best president? No, he's not the best president. Is he a great man? No, I don't think so. But as far as entertainment, I think he's very entertaining, and I think he speaks his mind, even if what he says sometimes is really stupid and ignorant. I personally hope he wins again. This chart looks crazy, dude. 10x in the last couple weeks. 100 million market cap is crazy, though. For what? Yeah, it's just a meme coin. Look at the eagle. Oh gosh, dude. Captain Deplorable. Politically homeless. Oh my gosh. Nah, it's cool, dude. I think MAGA Trump is a good meme coin. I mean, that's normies will love that, dude. Normies will eat that shit up. No doubt about it. Debating selling my 10x recent profits from SHIDO. Doubling down on 0KN. Also have high conviction in SHIDO. Want to buy a house this cycle. I don't know anything about SHIDO, so, take that with a grain of salt. But I would never, if you're in something very strong, we'll just look at it. Like, I don't know whether this is a project worth the market cap or if this is still undervalued. Yeah, I don't think this is the time to, go all out of something like this. If something can do this in a bear market, I think you stick with this. I mean, this is the first major move this has. You want to ride this as long as it's making higher lows on the weekly. For sure. I'm not saying don't de-risk some, maybe lower the size, but... And I don't know the legitimacy of this project either. But, in general, if my coin's doing this, right now, I want to be in it until that trend breaks. I've gone too far, but you get the idea, right? As long as it's doing this, I want to be in until the higher lows break down. Not necessarily all size, but see, that's the same for 0KN, right? Why do my pages keep having to load? It's the same for 0KN, so it's also valid. You know, this is the last major move on 0KN. You know, on the daily, it looks more like this. But big picture for me, I want to keep riding 0KN as long as it's making these higher lows. You know, so whether you sell one uptrend asset for another, I would not recommend going all out of one and all in the other. I think it's better to be exposed to both. DeSantis dropped out and endorsed him. Ha! Yeah, so did Vivek. I mean, I'm just so confident Trump's gonna win again, dudes. I really hope he does. You know, love him or hate him, he's better than what we got now. It's definitely better than Biden winning again. What do you think of SAVM? I really like SAVM. I've bought a lot of this in the past 24 hours. And the trend looks very clear. You know, it's in a new uptrend again after this little downtrend pullback. And so many people hate this. So many people hate this coin. Oh, no, my influencers got in before me. Man, influencers always going to be in before you. Influencers get deals. It is what it is. Being bitter about it is a waste of energy. Right? Like, you know, transparency-wise, I got in a little bit in the pre-sale, 1 Ethereum, and I sold it at $5. And I made 0.5% on my account. Nothing crazy. But guess what? I rebought triple the amount I had in here. Am I going to not buy because some KOLs are still holding? Some KOLs got more than me. I don't care. It's in an uptrend. It's super thick volume. It's hot right now. It's in top 5 trending. I'm not gonna, oh, I don't want to buy because the influencers got in. Who cares? If an influencer got in Bitcoin, are you not gonna buy it? It's just like, you know, it's like bang your head on the wall. Who cares? You know, so I love the hate that it's getting. I think the hate is going to keep a lot of people out while it runs to $100. So I like Satoshi VM. And it's run by a friend of mine that I have faith in. That's pretty much always done right by me. You know, is it guaranteed to run? No. You know, do I think it's the best tech ever? No. But it's definitely a potential runner for Bitcoin L2s. And that's one of my favorite narratives in this cycle. So, yeah. Oh, it looks like it just hopped up to number 1 again. There's just no reason to, like, care if KOL's got in before me. Like, is Stacks better bet than FIDEM at this point? Like, people ask me that. Is Stacks a better bet than FIDEM? Like, people want to know, is Stacks going to run more X's than FIDEM? I have no idea. I think Stacks is a little bit safer, and it's more liquid, and it's more accepted right now, but it's also, Stacks is like $2 billion, and FIDEM's not even 100 million. So, you know, you have different risk rewards there. But I own, you know, upwards of $1 million of FIDEM, and I own no Stacks. So that tells you my exposure. But I would like to have $1 million of Stacks too if I had the room. But Shivam, just being honest, I have no idea. You know, I don't know which one's going to run harder. ETH pair is coming in February. Oh, okay. I was about to say, dude, I don't really want to buy anything on Pancake Swap. DEX ETH pair coming in February. Add liquidity. Okay. Yeah, I would pick up some MBD. I didn't. Let me see what the. We didn't check out like the website and stuff. I wasn't sure if this was the right one. But this is definitely the right project, yeah. Let's check the MEXC chart. Yeah, MEXC chart looks good. This looks good. This reminds me a lot of space. This reminds me very much of the space chart. I think it's gonna go sideways for a bit probably. But it looks good, dude. It looks really good. You've already got a nice like 50% discount off the highs. You know, I'm kind of hoping we can get down here, but it looks good for now. I mean, who's that? Is this even the right project? MBD Financials, is this the right one? It looks like it. Team seems pretty stacked. Website's getting rebranded. Okay, nice. What did you say the market cap was? I mean, if this is 2 to 3 million, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, anything showing this kind of strength right now is kind of a no-brainer to do the same thing later this year. You know, whether we hold here or we go lower first, it's probably gonna go another 10x from here. Look at advisors. Oh, here we go. VP of Radio Shack. Pretty cool. I don't know any of these other guys, but they seem pretty stacked. VR glasses. Google Glass, anyone? Let me make sure I didn't miss it. I'm trying to go in order of comments, guys, so I apologize if I missed your comment. Render chart higher time frame. I think Render is fire. This new project I actually got in, that's it's kind of a similar narrative to Render. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw, but Facebook or Meta or whatever just announced that they're hoarding graphics cards. I think that is one of the biggest, I don't know, I hate to use the term narrative so much, but, you know, globally, not just in crypto Web3, graphics cards are the most sought after asset on the planet. Like, legitimately, like, I mean, go look at NVIDIA. There's a reason that it is the, like, craziest chart in the world. Because they have a monopoly, basically, on graphics cards. So, any project working with NVIDIA and, you know, this kind of graphics card narrative, again, I hate to phrase it that way, but it is what it is gonna go ballistic, in my opinion. You know, anything above 250 on this looks great. I think if we're lucky and we get a Bitcoin nuke, I think you want to be accumulating this in the mid twos, you know, on this retest. The 200 moving average on the daily, Pi on the daily. If you get that bid, I think you take it. And, you know, honestly, it might just be holding here. If you can flip 450, I think you kind of nix that idea and just follow the trend. But, you know, it's in a bit of a downtrend right now, making lower lows and lower highs. So if you can get mid twos, I think Render is a no-brainer. If you're looking for some high cap exposure, I think it's no-brainer. And if you're in from lower, dude, I would legitimately just hold. Again, you know, take it with a grain of salt, have your own plan, not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. I would just diamond hand this shit until market cycle peak. Especially if you're in, like, from under $1. I don't think you're going to see that entry again unless we, you know, rug pull on Bitcoin. $0K into 500 mil, get a Blockcircle tat. Let's go, dude. Post it in the chat if you get it. I'll get a Blockcircle tat on my ass. My girlfriend tatted a little smiley face on my ass last year. I'll get her to do a little Blockcircle emblem. KUJI's around 350 market cap. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought so. It's a little bit expensive for me, honestly. Do you think Kakon's a better casino play than Dinero? It's hard to say, dude, because I don't know what Dinero is. I think regardless of competitors, this is $1 million. In my opinion, this should be at least 20 or 30 million. Thus, it's a 20x from here at least, in my opinion. So I think it's very good value. And now they're offering their jackpot as a service, which is really good. I think a lot of projects are going to want to adopt that. And CatCon's going to benefit from that massively. Look at the PERC chart. Yeah, I did say we do that. Let's go ahead and look at that. My buddy Capo is really big on this one too. Dude, my stomach is about to explode. I always drink these energy drinks before stream, and it just destroys my gut. Holy crap. Oh yeah, this chart looks great, dude. This chart looks beautiful. I'm not like super in tune with the fundamentals on this, so you know, I can't really speak on that. But I think GameFi is one of my favorite use cases for crypto in general and Web3. Good styles of games here for sure. Again, I mean, these kind of things don't need tokens, but it's good if they do like a rev share, I suppose. I think the chart looks great, dude. This again another one that you probably just diamond hand into the bull run. You know, you might have to sit through some pain if Bitcoin cools off, but this is probably one you just diamond hand. Honestly, like 10x plus from here. Really great liquidity for a market cap ratio. I know it's not fully diluted, so I would definitely check how these tokens are going to become part of circulating supply. I'm guessing ecosystem rewards or something like that. But no, chart looks great. You know, you're literally at the only resistance on the chart right now. You know, you wicked into that, so maybe you consolidate down here for a bit. But you know, once you rock through this, I mean, it's just clear skies ahead as far as I can see. Man, it looks good, dude. It looks really good. Better to check on WickedBet. Team has ranked casinos to billions. One of the few licensed crypto casinos. That's another reason I like Kaku. They've got actual licenses. Like most projects, I've seen poker tables and stuff go to like 10 or 20 million with no licenses. So it's like this kind of shit's a no-brainer to me. Yeah, chart looks good, dude. Chart looks good. You know, I think any kind of GambleFi, CasinoFi with legitimate licenses is probably undervalued less than 10 million. Chart looks good. It's one of my favorite narratives for sure. Definitely a top 10 narrative in crypto is GambleFi, CasinoFi. I'm not huge on like casinos in general, you know, as an investment, yeah, you know, but yeah, I mean, this chart looks great. Seems like it's performing nicely. Probably, you know, take your initials or just dive and hand it. Sleepy Joe, not good. I don't know what that is. Which are your top 5 coins are the best to buy at the moment? I mean, that's always a tough question because my favorite 5 coins right now, I'm already in. You know, Fidem is my favorite probably, and I'm in from much lower. 0KN is probably my next favorite. I'm also in from much lower. And then Creso, I'm also in from much lower. The only one that I'm in from like near here is Dog. That's probably my 4th favorite. And I'm only up average maybe, you know, 30%. So as far as a buy right now kind of thing, I guess Dog's probably my number 1. Which will maybe dip soon. I mean, Creaso's on a really good dip. you know, almost 50% discount. I think that's really solid. DEXTF, I think, is also on a really good dip. Whoever puked to 20 is going to probably regret that coming Q2. M0 had a good dip recently. I think if you get this one on another dip, you probably, you know, bite the bullet. MAP is a Bitcoin L2. It's on a really good dip right now. Big picture, I mean, MAP looks like this. I think this is a good dip. I don't have any of this one yet, but I've been looking to get in. Unsheath is a LSD play, and this has been accumulating for like 6+ months. So don't buy this and expect it to go up next week, but I think eventually this thing is gonna just 10x out of this range low for sure in my mind. Thanks for the lessons, bro. Energy at all streams. You got it, brother. Appreciate the stream. I'm here for it, James, man. I'm here for it. Again, you know, we'll have time to get to everything probably. Let's see, how long we've been going? About 2 hours? Hour and a half. Okay, well, I mean, we'll go probably another 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll go as long as my stomach can hold up, honestly, because I feel like I'm about to literally explode. No, I like Say, dude. I like Sayin, too. As a DBZ fan, that one hits. No, I think it's good, dude. I think the chart, in general, guys, I think some of the best 3, like, kind of high caps like this are all S's. You got Say, you got Sol, and you got Sui. Like, these are some of the best trending high caps out there. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. You know, and you've still got, I think, until, what, August? Before the first unlocks, if I'm recalling correctly. So, yeah, dude, looks good. I would agree with you. I'm not so keen right now. You know, you're just sitting mid-range, so there's not really much edge intermediate term to buy here. The daily still looks good, still making higher lows. But I'm with you, dude. I would like to see a significant retrace. Yeah. 40 cents would be really nice. I don't think it's what I'm going to buy. I just don't have room. If we get big dips across the market, the only thing I'm probably going to buy is stacks and, you know, average down on a few of my favorite coins. So the only high cap I'll probably be buying is stacks. Maybe a little bit of space. But I do agree. Say looks really good. And Sayin is a great meme coin. Like, I like the ticker for that is really good. But I think this is quality. I think people will fly to this for sure. There's a good chance this consolidation ends up much like this one. But I would like to see a bit of a deeper pullback. Just for better risk reward. Donald Trump owns 7 figures to Trump. Is that confirmed? That sounds like something he would do. To be honest, that sounds like something he would do. Alright, Alright, yeah, check out PERC. PERC looks good. Alright, Don, take care. Much love, dude. Have a great week. PICA is restaking on Sol. What is restaking? I've heard people say that a few times. Did you mistype Hyperreaver? I don't see a PICA here. I mean, Pico? No? I'm not seeing a PICA with any liquidity. Why does Ka come up when you type in PICA? I guess it's that PICA Art Money. Is that this one? It's the only one with any liquidity. Even though it's only up, not even 100K. I mean, surely this is not it. Trump was airdropped. He didn't buy any. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That sounds more like it. Thoughts on what? You what, mate? Oh, SWOT. I thought that was a cash tag you were typing. Oh gosh. Too much Twitter. Really nice daily candle here. Definitely a contender for a bottom candle. Pretty illiquid, so I guess it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I do think a lot of AI projects are going to run hard. I also think a lot of them are just kind of vaporware. And again, like, cool tech doesn't need a token. I don't know. It's not, like, these AI agents are not really my cup of tea. Chart looks pretty good, like it wants to bottom here, but it also looked like that here and didn't, so I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Oh, it's on osmosis. Okay. Here we go. Good looks. I didn't realize DexTool didn't have Cosmos. I might have to switch back to DexTools. I stopped using DexTools because this. For some reason, my computer does not like Dex Screener. I mean, like, it just sometimes refuses to load it. I don't know why. It's like my internet, because it'll work on my phone when I use LTE. I mean, the chart looks great, dude. Sitting on a casual 10x the last month. Chart looks very nice. Very, very nice. I don't know what restaking is, though. I've never heard that. I mean, I heard it, but I never actually figured out what that is. Intention execution. Well, I'll be damned. My favorite. I've been waiting for intention execution on crypto. Just kidding, I have no idea what that means. No, I like this. I like this. Anything dealing with IBC, I think, is going to be big. I think anything dealing with IBC is going to be big. Absolutely. The current iteration of bridges will get left behind by IBC. For sure. For sure. And this is the biggest reason. Right? Like, all these bridges getting exploited and losing funds is because they have to take custody of these funds. This is big stuff. Am I buying MBD? Undecided. Undecided. It looks like the floor wants to give out, honestly. It looks like it's about to get crushed. I kind of just want to wait and see if it gets crushed first. You know, maybe it'll bottom here at like 8. I would rather either just wait for this downtrend to be over or wait for the floor to give out, personally. So no, I'm not going to buy it yet. I only have room for so many bags anyways. I've got like 30, 40 bags. If I'm going to buy this, I'll have to sell something else. So I have to think, you know, what do I want to sell to buy this? Right now, not really anything. You know, if I can get a 2x on SAVM, maybe sell some of that. But right now, I don't really have the cash for it, and it looks like the floor wants to give out, to be honest. What about Gene? I lightened up on Gene a bit recently. as you can see from this nice, nasty candle here. But the trend is still intact. Looks like my dump was just a retest of the old high. But, you know, I was sitting on 4x, 5x profits, so I just wanted to book some more. And now I'll just ride the moon bag. I think the project's good. I think it's good. I don't think DeSci is one of my favorite narratives by any means, but I think it's worth having at least one bag as DeSci exposure. But I wouldn't go super heavy or anything. I think it's fine. Definitely not my favorite by any means. Not one of my bigger bags. Can you check AEGIS? AEGIS has been looking rough lately, to be honest, dude. This is basically my average entry here at 10 cents, so I'm pretty much break even. Really good lick ratio for market cap. Locked for 3 years, so they're clearly here for the long term. I think I'm just holding on this one, dude, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to puke this one. I missed a couple comments, too. I'll go back in just a second. But yeah, chart doesn't look great. I'm not sure I'd want to be a buyer here, but they did get mentioned in Masari's recent publication. So maybe, I think it might catch on eventually. I think it's just going to take some time. Especially, you had so many snipers that were up, you know, like a bajillion X. So we just had to sift through those guys. All right, Plaza, take care, buddy. Much love. God bless. UFI, also FA, very much undervalued with their vision. Yeah, I've had some guys trying to get me in UFI. Whoops. Purify. Yeah, very, very interesting chart for sure. %50 discount from the highs. This is pretty big. As far as regulations go, people definitely don't want to be under like SEC scrutiny, and so doing this could absolutely avoid that. I think all three of these things are pretty good products. Ooh, part of a block bank. Let's go. This could be big. Looks solid, dude. The question is whether or not they actually can pull off what they said they can pull off. I don't know why I expected to know any of these guys, but I can't pull up any of that. Almost pulled up LinkedIn. Straight doxed myself. Would have been retarded. I mean, near term chart does not look great. Definitely needs to go through some consolidation phase for a bit. But some pretty good product ideas for how low market cap it is. If they can pull it off, I mean, you can see this running at 10x from here. I don't think I have room for it, but it does look pretty cool. Are you looking to get into OLAS? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think I got room for that. It's a bit much for my liking too. Chart looks decent. Definitely don't want to lose this level, or it's going to look like it's breaking down pretty hard. No, I'm not really interested in picking this one up, to be honest. It kind of reminds me of the HILO chart, which I also haven't looked at in ages. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of HILO, like back here. I think it's probably going to have a bit of a a bit of a rough go of things for a while. What about AIX? I've heard of that one. Oh yeah, in general, guys, I'm not big on the AI agent thing. I just don't think it's really that... I don't think it's gonna last. I think these kind of pumps are gonna get faded pretty hard. And it's already pumped from what? Like 5-ish? 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, 50x, 60x. It's pumped 60x, and I don't think that's a kind of play that I really want to get in. The whole AI agent thing, yeah, I'm just not super sold on that. Yeah, just not my cup of tea, personally. Nothing wrong with it necessarily, but it's not my thing. If you were to go on holiday or retreat for 10 days, no access to internet, how would you approach your current portfolio? I mean, most of my stuff is long-term plays. If I was going on vacation now, I probably wouldn't touch anything. I mean, given the structure of Bitcoin, I would probably have some cash in my portfolio for sure. Because you could come back and Bitcoin could be right here. It could be up here, or it could be, you know, somewhere down here. You know, if it's here or here, you definitely want to have exposure to crypto. But if it's going to be down here, you want to have cash. And since it could be any of these by the time you get back, you're going to want to be prepped for every scenario. This means you have altcoins, this means you have Bitcoin or altcoins, and this means you have stables. So I would want to be prepped for all of these situations. Okay. Thoughts on Dubzz? Have any GameFi picks? I'm very heavily invested in a GameFi project called Block Games that I think is going to be one of the best GameFi projects in crypto. And since I'm so invested in it already from like the equity raise and the seed sale, I'm not like worried about going super heavy on spot markets for any GameFi stuff. I already have like over $1 million exposure for GameFi in general, so no, I'm not really looking to buy much spot GameFi stuff right now. This is a nice chart. I do think the trend is broken. It does look like trend is kind of broken, and now you're in a new little downtrend. So if you like this project, you're gonna need to break out of this downtrend before starting to look good again, you know. For now, it's just a downtrend, and it makes sense too. I mean, you've gone from 10 cents to $7 in the last 6 months, so 70x. So it's not surprising. Anything you guys have that's up 50 to 100x, I mean, nothing like this should surprise you. Like, if I get this on any of my big three, it's not bothering me. Like, Fideum, 0KN, Creso is basically already doing it. It doesn't have earlier price history, but this is essentially, you know, it essentially looks like this. So if you're in it for the big picture, I wouldn't stress this. But if you're not in, or you're accumulating, I think safe bet is just wait until this crushing is over. You know, once you get a trend flip, then you could probably look to hit it a bit harder. I've heard good things about this project, though. 0x leveraged. Yeah, dude, people have been trying to get me on 0x leverage since day one. I kind of whiffed the bag not getting in. I think it's a cool project. It's being shown to me like 200k market cap. Yeah, it was being showed to me here. And I was like, I don't know, man. It looks kind of pumped up for what they offer. And then it went, you know, 20 or 30 or 40x. Some nice consolidation going on right now. I mean, leveraging shitcoins is always a good bet, right? And being able to do it in a decentralized manner is even better. I think they need to move away from exclusively on Telegram. I don't think that's a good idea. I think having a web app is a better idea. But, you know, it's not a big deal. In general, I think it's a good project. Let's see, how long is liquidity locked? Only for 2 to 4 months. That's kind of... In general, I'd like to see 6 to 12 months for liquidity lock, but... I think it's a good project, and it looks like it's got some nice accumulation going on right now. Just like Dubzz, though, I mean, you're in a little bit of a 4-hour downtrend. So if you're trying to play safe, you know, you're coming into support, which is good, but the safer bet, if you're not in or you're looking to accumulate more or whatever, is just to wait for this downtrend to end. You know, I had to buy higher than current prices, but it is what it is, you know. Or if you just want to, you know, shoot your shot, I mean, you're sitting in front of support. You know, either you're going to hold or you're not, right? If you're unsure, don't step in front of it. If you're willing to risk it to 0 for, you know, $5 million risk reward, this is your level. Hey, what's up, Bruce? Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Bruce, guys. Makes all of our intros and my profile pictures and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and throw one of those up here right now. That's clean, baby. That is clean, if I do say so myself. Follow the rill, my friends. Anyways, took 10% to stables last week. Probably a good call. You definitely want to have some stables if the Bitcoin floor gives. And if it doesn't, you still want to have plenty of exposure. I think that's a good bet. 10, 20%, even 30% stables, I think is good here. I wouldn't really want more than... If you have good entries, like I do, a lot of us do from back here, I wouldn't want to go lower than 50% of your crypto exposure. But, you know, 10, 20, 30% stables here I think makes good sense. I mean, it's been a good run since 25K. So I can buy more high convictions when lower. Good deal. Only it's clear I'm going to be buying new projects until I'm out of stables again. You struggle with this? Yes, dude. I struggle super heavily with this. And I've said it on pretty much every stream the last year. It's just hard this cycle, man. It feels like there's so many projects that have good narratives and good tech and, you know, a real use case. That being said... Like every cycle, 90% of it will amount to nothing and be complete vaporware. But, you know, if last cycle 99% were vaporware, this cycle it feels like only 90. You know, that's still 10 times as much like decent projects than the last cycle. So it's hard, dude. I mean, every day someone's reaching out to me, you know, with something good or at least decent. So, and again, you're talking to the guy who's got 40 different positions. It's like, it's hard, dude. It's really hard to hold cash. It really is. I haven't really got any advice with that, you know? It's either you choose not to buy something or you don't, right? You know, if you think you're going to get a better discount on everything, you just sit in cash. But, you know, mid and low caps aren't like high caps, you know? We might do this. And this is dramatic, but, you know, this kind of price action, maybe only to here. And you're thinking, damn, we're about to get a 50% haircut on alts. I should probably wait to buy my alts later. But look at this. It's January 18th. If the floor falls, and again, I think this is a bit extended. I think it'll if it falls, I think it'll fall before then. But let's say even, you know, 2 weeks from now, it gives out. You could have something like Fideum in the next 2 weeks doing this. And then it's like, oh, you're going to get a 50% discount on alts, right? And you're thinking that today, ooh, 50% discount, nice, this is 2 cents. That means I can buy it at 1 cent in a couple weeks. Yeah, unless it doubles first. And then that discount might be above today's price. that is the hard part with waiting for a steal on this. So if you think the coins you want to buy are a good price now, bite the bullet. You know, bite the bullet, dude. I mean, that's what I'm doing, at least. Like this new project I'm in that I can't talk about yet. I got a good deal. If there's a better deal 2 weeks from now, it is what it is. But right now, I like the deal I've got. I'm going to shoot my shot. Even if I can maybe get it cheaper, I don't really care. You think BRC20 can be a good runner long term? Better to focus on other sectors for a 5-coin portfolio. I do think BRC20s are going to run hard. Like I said, it's the first cycle we have DeFi on Bitcoin. I don't think they're all going to run hard, and it's not to say they're all equal. You know, like in 2017 where every ICO went to the moon. I think the market's a little bit smarter now. I don't think every piece of garbage coin is just going to rip in a bull market. But as a whole, I think having BRC20 exposure is good. You know, if you've got a 5-coin portfolio, I mean, if you got 20K, and it's probably worth having $1,000 or maybe $2,000 in some BRC20-esque coins in Bitcoin DeFi. I think it's good to have some exposure, 5%, 10% of the portfolio maybe. Thoughts on Oracle and South? We'll do South first because this guy in the chat was hyping this one up. He said it's crazy good. I don't know. I didn't really see anything special about it. But he's been in from $1, so I mean, maybe he knows something. Chart looks decent. Innovative system uses neuromorphic computing. Buzzword. To develop AI application with the function. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. Can they even prove they're using this, I wonder? I think that's going to be a big trend this cycle is AI projects saying there's AI doing things and it's going to come out later on. It was just humans manually doing it the whole time. I'm not saying that this is that kind of project, but that's definitely a projects nowadays, like saying, hey, we have a secure AI with machine learning doing all this stuff behind the scenes. And in reality, it's just like 5 guys at their desks doing it all. Right. More on neuromorphic systems. Gotcha. But what does this do? Ugh, it's a lot to read, dude. I'm not reading all that, to be honest. Sorry, I'm not reading all that. If you can give me a too long didn't read. Okay, AI agent, kind of chat GPT-esque. Okay, voice recognition, nice. That's cool. Ah, here we go. Why does it need a token? That's the question. Damn, I mean, Team clearly does not... I bet Team doesn't seem to believe in it that hard. They're only vested for 2 months. I always find that kind of odd. Like, I understand Team wants to get paid too, but, you know, why not linear vest for a year and they get paid every month or something? I mean, 2 months, they get all their tokens? I don't know, man. I think this is a lot of buzzwords. I mean, I'm not saying this is not real tech, and that they're not using it, and that neuromorphic computing is not a real thing. I'd have to spend 30 minutes reading on this and another 30 minutes trying to understand what it even means. But one, like, is this really as good as it's being hyped up to be? Two, are they even really using this? Three, do they even believe in their own project if they're only locked for 60 days? Four, a subscription model is the utility of the, like, you know, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it. It doesn't mean it can't run. You know, I mean, look at XRP, complete and utter vaporware. Token is useless, and it went to $100 billion. And the team sells it every day. So, I mean, it's the same red flags as this, but it's a different market nowadays. You know, there's 100 coins that are trying to do AI agent type stuff. Like, again, I'm not like Giga Brain. You know, I'm not saying this can't go on a crazy run. Don't, you know, not buy it because I'm saying not to. It's just, this does not interest me that much. All this is just like, I don't know. Like there's like really good use cases of crypto, like real world assets, or you know, privacy, or whatever else. I mean, remittances, stuff like that. Like, there's really good use case, and then there's AI agent. It's just, I don't know. It's just not it for me. No hard feelings. I hope it rips if you're in it. I hope you don't sell it because I'm saying I don't like it and then it does rip and you miss out. But it's not for me, brother. What do we have here? Chart looks nice. Ew. Classify with a Q, that's kind of cool. This is a pretty cool idea. Yet another coin, and yet another very cool idea that does not need a token for it to function. Like, literally no point of a token whatsoever here. And this is a really cool idea. What happens, though, if there's 1,000 people using this, all finding the same people to copy trade over the last 60 days? Because if I use this, it's going to give me the best traders who've traded less rugs and made the most gains in the last 60 days. If you use it 5 minutes from now, won't it give you the same exact people? If we all copy trade the same people, aren't the charts just going to get fucked? You know? Again, cool idea. I like it. Definitely does not need a token whatsoever. I like the idea of being able to find who has the best P&L on chain and the least amount of rugs and stuff like that. That's cool. But here it is. The utility is it's a payment currency for subscriptions. I don't feel like that's scalable. Nor a reason to own it. Like, I would maybe use this, but I don't think I would buy the token. The more popular the project gets, the higher the token probably goes, but I don't know. I'm definitely not sold on it. Not something I would be interested in buying as far as token goes. Doge -1. Damn! Y'all just couldn't let me get my piece of the pie. And this is why technical analysis on charts almost means, on low caps, means nothing. Like, this looks terrible. I mean, big picture, you know, this looks good. But near term, this looks horrible. Like, you just took out key support. You couldn't even hold. You made a new high and immediately failed, and then you lost the range low. And oh, who cares? Because it takes 200K to pump it back to the highs. This is why always take TA on low caps with a grain of salt. It's not like Bitcoin where it would take $50 billion to get it back to these levels, you know? What is this meme again, though? Oh, my antivirus blocked it, so I can't open it, but... Anyways, that's pretty cute. Pretty cute. Chart looks really good. I mean, whoever bought this breakout candle down here at 1 to 4,000 is making a bank right now, sitting up a bajillion, like 80x or something. I mean, coin looks great, dude. Look at that weekly chart. And here's my thing with memes, guys. Like, you're either gonna buy a meme and it's gonna do this and it's done, or you're gonna buy the meme like Bonk, Shiba Inu, Anita Max Win, Dog with Hat, and it's just gonna be literally up only. If you get a good entry on one of these, don't sell it. I mean, obviously, take profits all the way up, blah, blah, blah. But if you get a good entry, don't just go nuke the whole bag, dudes. Just don't do it. Like, I mean, here's when you nuke the whole bag. All right. Little fun little lesson, right? Here's when you don't nuke the whole bag. When every high or low that leads to a new high is higher than the last, okay? While this trend continues, don't nuke the whole bag. Yeah? Simple stuff. I mean, again, I've done it. I'm not trying to act all high and mighty. But if you want to stay with the trend as long as it's strong, don't nuke the whole bag. You know, you're going to end up like me, selling all my Tropica before the trend is done. Do I have magnet on? I do. I was wondering why that felt weird. Boom. There you go. Look at that. Higher high, lower low. Boom. Nuke the bag. And then you get from May to October to reaccumulate if you want back in. And a super clean, obvious re-entry on this breakout here. And then you only run 5x out of that. And then same idea here, you know, if you're going long term, you know, you take profits all the way up. You know, you want to take profits on this pump, do it. You want to take profits on this pump, do it. Do it. You nuke the whole bag when the last higher low that leads to a higher high is taken out. Whether that's here or here, doesn't really matter. Oops. And then you save yourself a lot of pain. And then, you know, you can reaccumulate when these highs are taken out. Look at that. And you're not going to sell the highs, right? Right? Just accept you're probably not going to sell the highs on anything if it goes crazy. You know, even if you TP here after this breaks down, you're still selling down 60% from the highs. And same over here, you know, you're selling down, whatever this is, 70, 80% from the highs. But most people that are in early are not going to be able to hold 68,000% gains. Now, they're going to get out completely here, 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 here. People who are born in the bear market that have never seen a 100x, let alone a 150, a 200, a 300, a 400, 500. You think those guys are going to hold any of their bag past freaking 20x, 30x? No. So with a trailing stop, when it's all said and done, you're going to sell your last pieces down 50 to 60, 70% from the highs. You know, you're going to lose mad money before you sell your last piece. I'm not saying hold the whole bag for this. But be exposed until this breaks, right? Because, yeah, you're going to take a big hit at the end, But most people that are in early are not going to be able to sit through all these swings mentally and emotionally if they aren't using a trailing stop. It's going to be too much. I mean, it's logarithmic, so it's hard to even envision what this is, but look at this. It's a 50% dip in like a week. 70% dip, followed by a bounce, and another 40% dip. Right here. 75% dip. Most people are not only going to be unable to hold it up so high without getting completely out, but they will not be able to sit through these 70% dips on the way to a higher values. They just won't. They won't do it because they don't have a plan, knowing, hey, the higher low that led to the last higher high didn't break, so I'm keeping a bag. They don't think that way. That's how you stay exposed. If you're in a meme coin early, like Doge -1 or Welsh Corgi or Dog with Hat or whatever it is, I mean, we can just go look at that. There's no reason to sell the whole bag until it's toast. And look at Dog with Hat. If this does not break, you keep a position. And the hardest part is when it does this. When it literally just goes straight up, you know, look at that. That's a 400x or 300x on the daily with... Oh no, is that a 3000x actually? Holy shit, is that a 3000x? 10x. 100x. 1000x, holy shit. That's when it gets the hardest. I usually use a daily or a weekly stop. When it just goes up straight up without any like higher lows made, that's the hardest to hold. You know, maybe you use a 4-hour stop. You know, I would rarely say trailing a stop go down to the 4-hour, but I guess if you are up 100x plus, maybe. But even then, you know, I mean, you would still be in, probably. Let's see, the last higher high is here from this higher low. Nah, you probably would have gotten trailed out. But again, you're up 3000x. I mean, who cares about a 5x at that point? That's crazy, though. But if you just use a daily stop, I mean, you're still in. It would just be a lot of pain sitting up 3000x, waiting in between to see if it makes a higher low. But anyways, that's the idea on meme coins, guys. If you get a good entry, don't cut the whole bag until the trend breaks, because you never know how high they're gonna go. You know, win is another good example. Like, you just don't know. Like, you know, why cut this? I didn't even realize it made new highs today. You know, until this breaks, don't cut it. Same goes for bonk. Bunk. This one might have broken down. I haven't kept up with this one. Nope, didn't even break down. Last higher high is here. Came from this higher low. I'd say there's a good chance that bonk ends up going higher. But even if it doesn't, you know, if you're in from like breakout here, and it hits your trailing stop here, you're bagging a free 20x. Don't even have to think about it. How about that? Anyways, I've gone on long enough. Just don't underestimate, guys, going into a bull market, the power of a trailing stop loss. When it's over, you'll be selling down massively from the highs, but 99% of people that got in when you did, if you're in from the lows, will have fully exited long before that last drop that'll hit your trailing stop. So accept this final drawdown to guarantee that you'll be in all the way through the trend. Whether it goes up 100x, 500, 1,000, 5,000, you'll be in until the end with a piece if you mechanically follow your trailing stop until it breaks. Okay? I'm in 0 coins right now with size. How would you recommend to navigate to choose coins and get into positions? That is a loaded question, my friend. It's really not that easy. You got to just start somewhere, right? You start with one. You start with one. You find a narrative or use case that you like, combined with a chart that seems like it has good risk reward for the market cap it's at, and then you just shoot your shot. Like, you know, Dog is a great example, and I don't have the right chart for it, but you know, like, I'll give you my thesis for this one, right? Because I'm gonna try and pick one that's near my entry versus like these. I'm already up so much on, it's a little bit harder to give the idea, but like Dog, my thesis for this is, you know, Dogecoin went to 100 billion while being worthless, having no value tied to it, just being a meme. Well, Dog is a similar idea in that it's a meme coin, but it's actually tied to the official Doge NFT created by the owner of the Doge Dog. It's actual fractionalized ownership, if you will, of this NFT. So if this NFT is worth $100 million, you own some Dog, you own a piece of that $100 million. So if Dogecoin connected to nothing can go to 100 billion, what can Dog do connected to the actual Doge NFT? It's $30 million market cap. Let's say I think this can go to $1 billion. You know, will it? I don't know. It's just an example. $1 billion is a what, 10, like a 30x from here. Okay, roll with it, right? Here's $1 billion. Okay. So my downside is $30 million market cap, or 60 million if you're looking fully diluted. It doesn't really matter in this case. My downside is 30 million. My upside is, you know, 970 million to $1 billion. So 30% downside, 3,000% upside. 100 times my risk reward. Is that worth it for me to buy $1,000 of this? If it goes to zero, I lose $1,000. If it goes to $1 billion, I make 100 grand. Yeah. I mean, actually, that math was completely wrong, but you get the idea. Is that worth it to me to make whatever it would actually be, like 30 grand off of $1,000? That's the idea. And the same goes with any coin that you're analyzing, think that you want in. You know, you look at the use case, you look at the narrative, the tokenomics, you look at the team behind it, you look at how the market has reacted to its launch, yada, 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 yada. And then you make your judgment and you shoot your shot. Simple as that. SMH has been down. I know, dude. I've actually been wanting to buy a little more. Who's going to come smash with me? But you know, it doesn't seem to be garnering any hype, man. I guess we need a real chart for it. I don't even know if we can get a real chart on DeFi. I guess not. They might not be able to open the site. Might give me a virus. Oh, here we go. I know, dude. It's been down only, but I mean, big picture, it's still got a really good chance to make a higher low. You know? This is all basically one big move, and you're just kind of retracing a lot of that, and maybe make a higher low. You know, you bottomed at about 10 cents. You ran to $5. That's a 50x. And now you're down 80%. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Most people that had a good entry on this have probably sold. And so if this goes to $50 from here, none of those guys are going to have some left. But the guy using a trailing stop, you know, I'm not saying don't TP on the 50x. But if you're in early, you should keep some in case it makes a higher low and keeps going. You know, and if it doesn't, it just dies. And that's why you TP some on the way up. That's an important thing to note too, guys. If you're going to trailing stop, you can hold the whole bag the whole way if you want, but it's much easier to hold this long if you've already secured, all right, I'm up 10x, I'm going to take my initials. All right, I'm up 20x, I'm going to secure, you know, twice my initials or 3 times my initials. All right, 50x, I'm going to secure 4 times my initials, whatever, right? TP enough that you're not going to be stressing every day about, man, if this rugs today, I lose everything. No, you still make your initials plus a few times profit. Pog, right? That's very important. If you're just trying to diamond hand the whole bag down 70% pullback, 80% pullback, 70% pullback, 80, it's going to be so much harder if at any given time you're just worried about, man, well, what if the rug is just pulled on me right here? You know, I won't have anything to show for it. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm down only on this one. I think my average buy is like my first buy is like $1.20. I think my average is like 2 or something. But honestly, I still like this project. I like the whole proof of work scene going on. This and Factorn, both are pretty down only, honestly, but I kind of like both of them big picture. They both kind of look like this. Anyways, I'm not touching them. Like, I think I'm just gonna hold them into a full bull market and see where they come. If you like the project, it's probably a decent average down pretty soon. You know, 50 cents to $1. So besides stacks, what microcaps are you really waiting to hop in? Not much. I mean, I'm pretty much in everything I want to be in. Mostly, I just want to add to positions. So number one priority is stacks. I want to get some stacks and potentially some stacks ecosystem coins if there are some. There's a couple VC plays I'm looking at that are tempting me a little bit. I kind of want to get a little bit more dog, honestly. I already have big size on this. I think I'm 4% risk to 0. I might bump to 5 and max risk it. I kind of want some more unsheath. I think LSD narrative is going to pick back up again. As soon as ETH gets hype, unsheath, I think, is going to rip really hard. So I kind of want some more of this. It's really a liquid, though. So it's hard to accumulate. But I really want some more of this. I kind of want to get some more NFD. This is kind of a similar trend to Dog. I really want an entry into MAP, which is an L2 for Bitcoin. But it's kind of pricey. I really want more Space Chain. This is also an L1/L2 for Bitcoin. And it's been showing very healthy price action. It kind of looks like MBD. And that's pretty much it. And again, stacks takes priority over pretty much everything there. And there's a couple meme coins on Solana I think will be fun to pick up. My only one I have right now is Triangle, and it looks like kind of dog shit. Looks like it's just kind of dying. But speaking of which, someone just posted in chat, I wouldn't mind having some POPCAT. Looks like it's on a good dip right now too. Oh my gosh, I put it once, it's gonna keep going logarithmic. Damn, 5x and already pulling back, just like Triangle did. It feels like meme coins are drying up a little bit on Solana, to be honest. Like the first kind of, when it was getting hyped in December, like these shits were just running up like 100, 200x, no problem. And now they're going like 5x off their lows and they're just pulling back super hard. But here's the trend, right? If I can get a higher low, I kind of want some POPCAT. Person asking how it looks. I think it looks fine. You know, your big picture trend remains, but it could very quickly turn from this to this, you know? Like, oh yeah, it looks fine, just made a new high, maybe makes a higher low. Oh look, I'm back at the literal bottom again. So, that's the way the cookie crumbles for these things, right? Meme coins don't have real value, so, you know, that's how it goes. But I think it looks okay. A lot of selling the last few days for sure, though. I also like Upside Down Cat. I think that's kind of got a cult following for it. Nice pullback. I've been waiting for this one to pull back. I really want to get 5s. I think I'm going to get it too. Another cool meme coin that I'm interested in. Any thoughts on OPSEC? Kazi was trying to get me in on this one a while back, and I can't take free tokens, and they were offering free tokens. But I also, you know, I would have been down to buy some from them OTC, but I'm spread so thin, man. I just don't have room for everything. But he was trying to get me in back at like 5 cents or something, and I whiffed it. So big ups to him. I think he's making good money. I think he knows something about this one too. That's a weird ass captcha. Why does it look like that? Oh my gosh. There we go. I didn't know it was depend. Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I honestly just whiffed the bag on this one. Like, no joke. I think it looks really solid. As long as you're hanging out above here, you know, below here it looks a little bit sketchy. But like we said earlier, you know, how much does technical analysis really matter on these low caps? I mean, you could just do this and immediately be back up on like $200,000, which is chump change in this space. So if you like the project, I would just stick with it. You know, big picture trend. Like, you know, maybe you could say something like this, but in reality, this is the first move. You know, a higher low comes. You got to think this market's going into 2025, this bull run. Right? This is your trend. You know, even if it pulls back, if you like the project, you know, you might run into 2025 on, you know, an easy 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, whatever. So near term, I'd say it doesn't look great. Right? It looks like it kind of wants this level to give, but big picture looks good. I think the tech is really solid. What's up, GRM? I'm afraid we're about to sign out of here pretty soon, but definitely check out the VOD. Space is a Bitcoin L1 and L2. You know, I'm not going to expand too much on it, but that's what they're doing. I was either last stream or the stream before I went a little bit more in depth into it, but that's the basis of it. It's L1, L2. Well, it's really an L1, but it'll allow smart contracts and DeFi on Bitcoin, so it's acting as an L2 as well. But I bought a bunch of this at like 20 to 23, and I put it into MVC Swap, MSP, which is like the main DEX on Space Chain. It's like $2 million market cap. It's dirt cheap. No problem, Limitless. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. I think we're about to wrap up here because my stomach has been streaming at me for like an hour and a half now. I don't think I can take it much more. Plus, we've already been streaming for over 2.5 hours, so I think we'll wrap things up. Sorry, Gurtim, I know you just joined, but my top 3 conviction plays are... I'm going to do a top 5 because it's really hard to pick 3. But Fideum, Zero Knowledge Network, Creso, Doge NFT, and then lastly... last one's tough, man. I'm thinking DEXTF, honestly. This is real world assets partnered with Dutch Bank. I'm inclined to believe that this is going to run very hard the rest of this year, so that'll be it. Yeah, no problem, Shiva. Thanks to you too. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you found the stream informative and entertaining and all that good stuff. As always, you know I got to give all the glory to God, Jesus Christ, my Savior. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to do a job that I love so much. I mean, at this point, I can't imagine doing anything else. So, yeah, I just pray we can all reach our goals and be smart, not be tempted by trash investments, if you will. So give us strength and wisdom, Lord. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you to you guys again for tuning in. As much as these streams might help you, they help me just as much. Ensuring I'm sticking to my my rules and trying to learn from my mistakes, all that good stuff. So shout out to you guys. Stream wouldn't be nothing if you weren't here, so I appreciate it. Anyways, Blockcircle guys, we will have private stream Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then again, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then 2 Sundays from now, we'll be back with a public stream. So if you guys aren't in Blockcircle and you enjoyed this stream, we got a lot more content and a lot of stuff going on in Blockcircle. We're extremely confident in the value that we provide. So if you'd like to join, head over to blockcircle.com. And yeah, we'd really love to have you. I appreciate you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful start to your week. As always, if you have any comments, questions, concerns at any time, I don't sleep that much, so feel free to hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Discord, Telegram, whatever. I'll never ask you for anything, never send me money. I mean, if you see someone if you get a questionable link from me, never connect your wallet to anything I send. You just never know. Always best to stay safe. Anyways, I will catch you guys on Wednesday stream. Blockcircle guys, I'll see you in there. Twitter guys, I'll see you there. Much love, take care, and peace out.